Everyone argues about the best era of country music. Some say the 70s were too rough, some say the 90s were unbeatable, others say modern country isn't even country at all. But what if the real answer isn't which decade was best? It's why each decade sounded the way it did. Because every era of country music was a reaction to the industry, a reaction to the culture, and a reaction to the decade before it. By the end of this video, you'll understand why outlaw country existed, why the 90s exploded, why modern country feels divided, and which decade quietly shaped all of them. Let's start where modern country really began. 1970s, the outlaw era. The 1970s didn't just change country music, it was country music rebelling against itself. At the time, Nashville controlled everything. What songs artists recorded, who played the instruments, even how singers dressed. And a group of artists finally said no. This era was defined by Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, and Merle Haggard. Most of them weren't coming out of Nashville. They were coming from Texas, Oklahoma, and the working class West. And you can hear that in the music. It was rougher, less polished. Lyrics about prison, regret, freedom, and survival. This sound became known as outlaw country, and the reason it existed was simple. These artists wanted creative control. They were inspired by rock music, the counterculture movement, and real life, not radio formulas. The 70s proved something dangerous to the country music industry. Artists could succeed without playing by Nashville's rules. And once that door was opened, country music would never fully close it again. 1980s, tradition versus mainstream. After the rebellion of the 70s, country music faced a choice. Do we return to tradition or chase a bigger audience? The 1980s tried to do both. This era was led by artists like George Strait, George Jones, and Kenny Rogers. George Strait, in particular, changed everything. He came out of Texas dance halls and brought country back to its roots: fiddles, steel guitar, and clean storytelling. At the same time, Nashville was still chasing crossover success. That's why the 80s sounds smoother, more controlled, and more polished. This era balanced tradition with mass appeal. The 80s didn't just stabilize country music, they saved its identity. And by proving that traditional country could still sell, it set the stage for the biggest explosion the genre would ever see. 1990s, the boom era. If the 70s rebelled and the 80s rebuilt, the 90s conquered. This was the decade country music went global, and it happened because of one major shift: Garth Brooks. Garth took country music and performed it like rock music. Huge energy, stadium shows, anthem-level songs. Alongside him were artists like Alan Jackson and Brooks and Dunn, who kept traditional themes alive while embracing massive hooks. Country wasn't just on the radio anymore, it was everywhere. Line dancing, sold-out stadiums, record-breaking album sales. The sound was bigger, louder, and more confident. The 90s turned country music into a powerhouse industry, but that success created a new question. How do you stay country when everyone's listening? 2000s, the mainstream takeover. The 2000s didn't ask if country should go mainstream. They assumed it should. This era was dominated by artists like Tim McGraw, Kenny Chesney, and Carrie Underwood. Production got cleaner, choruses got bigger, songs were designed for radio dominance. Reality TV played a role too. Shows like American Idol created instant stars, and country music welcomed them. The genre grew bigger than ever, but there was a cost. As country blended more with pop, some fans started to feel like something was missing. The 2000s made country music massive, but they quietly planted the seeds for backlash. 2010s, the identity crisis. The 2010s are where the argument really starts. This decade split country fans into camps. On one side, bro country, party anthems, pop influence, chart dominance. On the other, artists like Eric Church and Chris Stapleton, who brought grit, soul, and storytelling back. Streaming changed everything. Radio no longer decided hits alone. Fans did, and that allowed multiple versions of country to exist at once. The 2010s proved something important. Country music no longer moves in one direction, and that changed the future forever. 2020s, the split era. The 2020s might be the most important era yet. Artists like Zach Bryan built massive audiences without Nashville's help. Luke Combs bridged traditional themes with modern appeal. Morgan Wallen dominated the charts in a streaming-first world. Country music now lives on TikTok, YouTube, and playlists, not just radio. Some songs are raw and stripped down, others are massive and polished, and both can succeed. Here's the payoff. Country music didn't change. Who controls it did. So what's the best era of country music? The truth is, the best era of country music might not be one decade at all. It might be the one that made your favorite song possible. Comment your favorite country era and subscribe for more videos like this.